everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Show featuring my good buddy Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages, chartered mortgage broker, myself, Chantal Desjardins. How you doing, Terry?
What's going on?
You have already broken the headphones. We're off to a great start.
I did not break them.
It's been
They were already broken.
20 seconds of the show.
So I've decided my new job.
Yep.
Okay, so if mortgages and real estate doesn't work out for some bizarre reason, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get companies to hire me to go in
And just break things.
and see if things break.
Right.
Right?
And they will with you
Maybe,
around. Like
possibly.
Dennis the Menace, but, better. We're live here every Sunday on CJAD, 1 to 2 p.m. You can also watch us on Facebook Live. Head over to Facebook, type in Terry Kilakos, Kilakos, and watch the magic live as it happens. Currently, Terry is wearing a blindfold. And the reason for the blindfold isn't so that he doesn't touch anything and break it. It's because today's topic is 50 Shades of Mortgages. I see what you did there.
Sexy.
Because mortgages can be sexy, right?
Yeah.
Do I have to wear it too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure people want to see you with the blindfold more than they want to see me with the blindfold.
So you can check it out on Facebook. And now we're on Instagram Live. Is that what's happening? We have
as well. Hold on.
so many technology
Check this
things
out.
happening.
I
What is
have my little bag of goodies here.
it? Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I have my special
I see it.
lingerie in here.
Yeah. We won't.
Two.
We won't talk about that yet, though. We'll
No.
leave that
But
Thursday. It's not pretty,
If
everyone.
you want to
you're-
see this,
yeah.
you got to go on Facebook Live.
Give us a call with any of your real estate questions or about 50 Shades of anything. 514-790-0800 or text us at 514-800. So 50 Shades of Mortgages, because there's a ton of different types of mortgages. A lot of people are getting confused. It's not how it used to be. We will delve into all of the good stuff, the good, the bad, the sexy coming up. But first, maybe a little market update.
Yeah, definitely. So the big news over the last couple of weeks, the variable rate wars between the banks has been going nuts.
Crazy.
I mean, there's like, it seems like every day there's a new bank that's coming out and they're like, we're lowering our rate and we're lowering our rate. Anyways, they're
Which
doing
is
a whole-
great. Which is great for us, right? Us regular people.
It is great, and this is not something new. This is not something that we haven't seen before. Every year around this time, banks try and compete for market share. They try and grab clients and, get them in to sign for mortgages because this is how they're able to go out and cross-sell them other products, right? So they're able to take that mortgage and then sell them life insurance and credit cards and lines of credit and all that stuff. If they don't get that market share this time of year, their numbers go down later on during the year. So historically, what we've seen banks do is they've gone out and gone into competition with one another over 5-year fixed rates. So we see, Bank ABC drops their 5-year fixed rate by 10 basis points, then the other one comes out and matches it, and then the other one comes out and drops it by another 10 basis points. And it's just like this rate war that goes on that takes the 5-year fix down to nothing.
Wow.
This year, however, because the bond market has adjusted and rates have gone up, and typically right now you're looking at 5-year fixed rates that are hovering anywhere between 3.19% all the way up to 3.79%, depending on the bank that's being used. And I've even heard clients coming in and telling me that their bank was offering them a rate that was 3.99. So banks are really not into doing the 5-year fix right now.
Yeah.
So instead, they started to go after people that wanting to go and get variables. So the rate war kind of started a couple of weeks ago. The banks started to slash their variable rates. The rates went from, originally they were like minus 40, then they took them down to minus 50 below prime. And now they're as low as minus 109.
Wow.
Which is 109 or 110 below the posted rate. So the posted rate, the prime rate. So the prime rate is at 3.45, and there's banks that have taken it down all the way down to 2.35 for a variable.
So do you jump on it?
Yeah, I mean, variables are a great product. I do recommend them to clients. You have to kind of look at it and you're the one that has to sleep with it at the end of the day, right? So if you're able to close your eyes at night and say, my mortgage is good, I don't mind if it goes up, take a variable. Plus the delta between the fixed and the variables right now, that difference is about 1%. So having a 1% difference between a fixed and a variable rate is pretty good, right?
Okay.
I mean, Bank of Canada is going to have to come out and raise rates a few times for you to actually be losing, which I don't think is going to be happening over the next couple of years. I think rates will probably stabilize by the tail end of next year. By the tail end of this year, beginning of next year. All of this, though, to say all the banks did is they just came down to the level of where the brokers were at. Our variable rates were pretty much at this level since last year.
So if they would have gone to you first, I mean,
they would have had it anyways.
They would have had it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And what about anything else? The
market
April 30th?
updates? Yeah, definitely. So the other thing that's happened is there's the qualifying rate that went up a little bit. The banks basically started to raise their posted rates. So the posted rates were at 5.14%. They raised them up to 5.34% for the 5-year fixed rates, which that ended up creating an increase in the test for the stress test. So now what's happening is for you to actually qualify for a mortgage, you're qualifying at a higher rate because of that. So that ended up causing this ripple effect, and then the Bank of Canada decided to follow suit, and they as well raised it. So that's the other big news of this week. And as of April 30th of this year, the general consensus amongst all the insurers, they basically said that they don't have a problem. If you are someone that has a mortgage, it's insured, so you had bought a property 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, you had it insured with CMHC or Genworth or Canada Guarantee or one of the 3 insurers, and now it comes up for renewal, you're able to transfer that mortgage to another to another lender, bring with you the insurance that you originally had, so that obviously you're not paying for it again, and that'll give you access to lower interest rates.
Great.
Yeah.
And why'd they change their mind on that?
It was always there. That rule was always there. Again, on the broker channel, this is something that we always did. So when I had a client that would come in and they would say to me, hey, you know what? I have this mortgage. I want to renew it. My bank is offering me this terrible interest rate. What can you offer me? I would look at it and say, okay, based on what I see here, we're able to offer you this. And you had an insured mortgage. So let's transfer this insurance policy over to the new bank and you'll get the lower rate. All of this might sound very confusing to people because they're like, what's the deal with the insured and all that? We're going to be talking about it during this show. This is one of the reasons why we have, I wanted to name this show.
50 Shades of Mortgages.
50 Shades of Mortgages, because there's pretty much 50 different interest rates at every lender, depending on the type of mortgage, depending on if it's insured, if it's conventional, and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, we'll get into that. And 50 Shades of Mortgages, conventional, insured, insurable. Should we start with, how do the rates vary?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so when you're looking at your typical rates, right, when you go across the board, insured mortgages, so basically if you're putting 5% or 10% down, are going to be cheaper than if you're putting 20% down and you say that you want to go on 30 years. So when someone comes in and they want to do a refinance, the rate will be higher than someone coming in saying, I want to buy this property, I'm putting 5% down. So it gets kind of complicated to understand, and people don't really understand that mechanism because they're saying, wait a minute, I'm putting 20%.
Say it again. You'd think that you would get a better deal if you're putting more down.
Exactly. But it's the opposite.
And why?
We're going to get into it after the break, because this is like a 10-minute long speech that I have to give here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
well, maybe we'll take a look at the roads and then we'll come back at it, because now I'm curious.
I think so, yeah.
I always thought,
and maybe the lingerie is going to come on.
Just
saying.
Okay, Terry's lingerie is just like, it's not pretty. It's not pretty, and you'll want to check it out on Facebook Live. Give us a call with any of your real estate questions, 514-790-0800. Text us at 514-800. That's the voice of Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages and chartered mortgage broker. Now let's take a look at the roads. Here's Kira Yeager.
Looks like the accident that we were dealing with on the 15 South.
It's getting hot in here.
I'm like,
I don't know why.
I don't know who puts up the heat.
Wow.
All the time.
It's warm. It's a warm one.
Okay, I'm gonna entertain the Instagram world now. Oh my goodness.
Tell us a little story.
Wow.
So
It is like a scorcher.
tell us the story, Marav. So it was Mother's Day, and it was your anniversary.
Wedding anniversary.
And he didn't try to double up the presents,
No,
right?
he didn't double up the presents. I was very, very impressed. I
Okay.
got an anniversary present.
What'd you get?
A shopping spree.
Woo! Woo!
Okay, I just want to see if these headphones work.
That's nice.
And then I got a Mother's Day present, a nice necklace and earrings.
Pretty.
Yes, he's a romantic. I
That
know he
is
doesn't look like it.
romantic.
Oh, are you okay?
Oh,
What did he do? What did he do? What did he do?
I just pinched his fingers.
okay,
Oh.
it's good. It's good.
I'm a big klutz. I was telling him.
Yeah,
No,
so am
this
I.
is not good.
This is not good. Next. Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they work?
We have sound.
We have sound.
He found better earphones. Yeah, so that's it. That was fun.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I steal my?
And did you like go for dinner?
We went for dinner.
Nice.
We did all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, this is a family show,
Yeah, it's true. I won't mention the fun stuff we did.
right?
And no, it was
That's
good.
nice.
It was good. We had a good time. I have to say
And your kitties
that
today.
12 years
Aw.
of marriage, 16 years together, and we still love each
That's
other.
nice.
talking
So
about?
that's not what you just said when the cameras were off. Just kidding. Just
What did he
kidding.
tell you?
Oh,
dead.
God.
goodness.
Yeah. And a long weekend. So it's a long weekend in Quebec, right?
Yeah, it's a long weekend. The rest of Canada calls it
Victoria.
Victoria Day, and
You
in
don't call it that?
Quebec it's called La Journée des Patriotes.
Oh.
I don't know when that changed. When I was young, we always called it Victoria Day.
Yeah, we call it Victoria Day, but I know Quebec's got some weird holidays compared to Manitoba. Like, you guys have two back-to-back, June 24th.
What's you guys? You moved here.
You guys, okay? I've only been here 11 years, so it's still you guys.
Why is it so hot in here?
It's very
it's really
Oh
warm.
my lord!
V-warm. Why don't you try, turn it back down or something.
I did.
He
I
did.
put it like.
But every time we come here,
I didn't even notice it until you said it. Now I'm like in a sauna.
Wow.
it's very hot.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm perspiring.
I see
I'm
that. I wasn't going to say anything, but
perspiring.
you need the, like, shine.
Chantal's
remover.
thought that you were just like hot. Like, you know.
It's
I can't even wear my
hot
like
in here.
my little.
Because you're going to sweat it
I don't
up?
know what's up with my camera angles.
What?
It's not accepting my chosen camera angles.
Forget about coffee. I'm gonna have to drink water now.
I'm drinking some tea. But it's the hottest tea I've ever, like, I feel like...
Too
it's
hot?
just- It's too hot. Too hot to handle.
Is it David's tea?
It is.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hashtag David's tea.
Expensive, but delightful.
I prefer Fiji water.
Sponsored by Fiji. Or does it feel like we're in the Truman Show, you know, where
Yeah.
like everything is like
Do
product
it again.
placement?
Do it again for the Instagram word.
I prefer Fiji water because Fiji water has a pH of 7.7.
Which means,
Hashtag Fiji.
Hashtag Fiji water.
are we just gonna hashtag all the things today? Try and get a bunch of sponsors.
How about
There you
you, David's tea?
Yeah.
Do your promo.
Well, David's
Oh,
tea.
it's starting.
Oh, we gotta go. Like, as much fun as it's been trying to get free tea. So we'll just start it.
CJAD 800.
Welcome back to 50 Shades of Mortgages here on the Real Estate Show. Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages and chartered mortgage broker. Call us 514-790-0800 or text us with any questions you might have, 514-800. Now, 50 Shades of Mortgages. Terry's wearing one of those silky, sexy eye patch things. I don't know if that's how they like sell them in the movies, but like 50 Shades of Grey, only mortgages, because there's so many types of mortgages and it's confusing. And we want to break it down for you here in a sexy way.
I had like this whole plan to wear like this little thing, and
Yeah.
it's too hot in here.
It's too hot.
Like,
It's very, very warm. Like, I
crazy.
don't know if like the guy before us is
cold. I don't know.
cranked it up or what, but it's getting warm in here. Although it is
I,
sexy.
I
It's
wouldn't be
sexier to be warm.
surprised if Joey Elias did it just to mess with
like,
us, because
just-
it's like
yeah.
it's hot in here. But
It-
anyways, okay.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here.
Yeah.
So, 50 Shades of Mortgages, what sparked this whole thing? Are you getting a lot of people coming in and saying, I'm
Yeah.
so confused?
Okay, so the first thing that you got to realize, I mean, you know, there's a lot of rates that are kind of floating around out there, and there's a lot of people coming and saying, hey, you know, I saw this rate and I saw this, and it has nothing to do with what they're actually getting. The first thing that you have to understand is you're going to have a different rate if your mortgage is insured or if it's insurable. or if it's conventional, right? So when someone comes in and they're making a purchase, so let's start with that. When you buy a property, you can either have it be insured. So in other words, you're buying it with 5% down, which means that it's going to be backed by CMHC or Genworth or Canada Guarantee, one of those guys. Or you could put 20% down and it's conventional, right? So anyone that's been listening to the show long enough, they understand the financing triangle, and the financing triangle talks about the different elements, and that is specifically related to the down payment that you're putting. Now, the interesting thing is that when you're putting a larger down payment, so when you're putting that 20% down, now all of a sudden you're getting penalized on your interest rate, right? So the bank is going to charge you a higher interest rate because you've put 20% down. But why is that?
Why is that? You think it would be, nothing but beneficial to put more money down?
Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is that all mortgages in Canada are insured. The difference is whether you're going to pay the premium or whether the bank is going to pay the premium. So that's the first thing that needs to be understood. Because what ends up happening is when you go to a bank or you go to a broker and the broker goes to a bank, ultimately what ends up happening is that mortgage is going to be put out and it's going to be off-sold to investors. Okay, so you can go to Bank ABC. Bank ABC is going to underwrite the file. They're going to do everything they need to do. Once it's done, they're going to take that and they're going to sell it off to investors so that they can get that liquidity back and get that money back. Okay?
Yeah.
The bank will make money off the cross-sell. Mortgages that are insured fetch a higher premium to the bank than mortgages that are not. So what ends up happening is when a mortgage, someone comes in and they say, well, I'm putting 20% down, so I don't need this to be insured. What's going to end up happening is the bank at that point is going to say, well, that's fine, but now we're going to charge you a higher rate because we're going to insure it on the back end without you even realizing it. So because it's going to cost the bank money to insure that mortgage, you have to basically pay a higher interest rate so that you offset that.
So then is it even worth it?
Sure. Well, I mean, it depends, right? I mean, yeah, it's a calculation that you have to do. Now, the other interesting thing is that if so on the same purchase, so you have insured, so you've put 5% down, you're on 25 years. You have insurable, right? So an insurable purchase, which means that you're basically, you're putting 20% down, but you still want to qualify it on the Bank of Canada rate, and you're okay to go on 25 years. Now that mortgage is insurable. So the bank is able to take that mortgage, insure it at a better price than had it been something else, right? So because of that, you end up getting a really good rate. You get the insured rate. And then the last thing is you have a purchase that's non-insurable. So if you come to the bank and you say, well, I'm putting 20% down, but I need to stretch this over 30 years. And the reason why I want to stretch it over 30 years is, because I want a lower monthly payment. In that case, the bank is going to pepper you on the interest rate. So you're going to pay an extra 10, 20, 30 basis points depending on the financial institution.
Very confusing.
Yeah. You think you're confused? Think about me, right? So my job used to be really simple. People would come in and say, what is your best 5-year fixed rate? And I'd be like,
bam.
Bam, this is what it is. We have 20 different banks. Out of the 20 different banks, this is what it is.
Yeah.
It is not the case anymore. Every lender has about, 6, 7 different rates to choose from. It's nuts.
And
it's
so how
nuts.
do you sort through them all then?
It's thanks to our government. Anyways, do I go off on like a tangent
No,
now?
no time for
tangents. Okay.
But then, so you just sort through the 7 different
so
options for each.
Well, basically what we have to do is we have to kind of look at it and say, okay, what do you want to do? Okay, so you're buying this property, you want to put 20% down, great. Are you okay to go on 25 years or 30 years? What do you prefer? Do you want to go 35 years? Because we could still do that as well.
Can you?
Yeah, we could still do it.
Oh.
It's like we're literally down to like a couple of lenders that'll still do it, but we still have the ability to do it. And definitely if you're going on 35 years, you're getting hammered on the interest rate.
Right.
Okay. But anyways, we do have that ability. So if the client says, you know what, I'm good with 25 years and I want to put the 20% down, well, then at that point, there's a lot of options to choose from, and we just look for whoever has the lowest rate. But if they come back to us and they say, well, you know what, we want to go on 30 years, we have to look at who's got the best rate, but we also have to look at different conditions that are associated to that.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of You know, these promos that are coming out right now with HSBC, who had said they're going to be at minus 109, and BMO and RBC and TD, they all basically screamed in and said, we're lowering our variable, but you got to look at the conditions that are in there,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So these are all lenders that we deal with at Northeast, but each one comes with different rules and conditions that are related to it, right? So you can't just look at something and say, well, I want that rate, because just grabbing an interest rate for the hell of having a lower rate of someone else will turn around and bite you. Anyways, we'll go into it a little later, but it's interesting.
Yeah. That's Terry Kilakos, president of Northeast Mortgages. You can still call us, 514-790-0800, or text us at 514-800. Now, you mentioned in the past shows restrictive mortgages.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I'll give you actually a perfect example. I had a client of mine a couple of years ago who we had an option. So we could have gone with a regular variable rate mortgage, and the variable rate mortgage was at like minus 95 basis points below prime.
Right.
Or we could have gone with a restricted one, and the restricted one was at 1% below prime. And she was, no, I want to go with I want the lower rate. And I was telling her, you can't do that, because if you ever want to sell, I'm not selling, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that.
But you just don't know. You don't know if you're
You
going to have
just
to
don't
sell.
know. Things happen. Well, things happened, and she ended up having to sell, and she had a massive penalty to pay. And luckily, I document everything, and I had an email saying, do not take this, because she went against it, and you know, it is what it is. But this is what the problem is. The penalties on restricted mortgages can be huge, and even on a variable where people think that it's open or that it's 3 months of interest penalty, a restricted variable
More than that
comes with 2%. You'll basically be paying about 2.7% of the of whatever is remaining on your balance on the mortgage.
Terry Kilakos, Northeast Mortgages. Give us a call again, 514-790-0800. Text us, 514-800. Coming up, we will continue our sexy chat of 50 Shades of Mortgages, including, is there such a thing as a restrictive variable mortgage? Coming up.
The Real Estate Show is brought to you by...
Oh, we just said there is a restricted.
Shit. Yeah, we did.
So I was like, wow,
Wow.
we're going to give you some information
We're going to give
now.
you more information on the thing we just said.
That Fiji bottle is really like in the way.
You see that? Fiji, for all your thirst needs.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Okay, so when we
Okay,
come
I'm gonna
back,
need a
like we
couple of-
said,
Oh, I don't know how to put that phone on vibe, by the way. This guy.
You don't need to vibe it.
Well, it keeps on ding, ding,
It's okay.
ding, ding, ding.
Where the hell is
Chantal,
yes.
say hello to the Instagram world.
Hello to the Instagram.
I'm gonna go
Wow,
put on my
that was
lingerie.
great.
Thank you. Hey, I had an acting audition. I'm not an actor, but I went for an audition, and I was a banker in the audition, and I had just discovered that a guy had killed his wife through, like, forged, and I was like, oh, no, I think Mr. McLeod has killed his wife. And they're like, that was really good. That was a really good
Oh, yeah?
audition.
They didn't tell you.
No, they didn't say that, but, like,
they
I
didn't say-
felt it.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
felt
say it, though.
You know?
Did you get the job?
Well, I don't know. It
No,
was just
you didn't get the
yesterday.
job.
It might have
Alright.
gotten a job.
So they didn't actually like you. They just like.
I'm gonna go put on my lingerie now.
Why don't you just put it over top of your
Yeah,
stuff?
seriously.
Cause it's gonna be too hot.
No, seriously. You're
Seriously,
not
you're
gonna
gonna wear it
put
for
on this
1
thing.
second.
No,
So
Terry,
going to put
please
it on.
don't.
I'll
Oh
be
my
back.
god.
Wow, trauma.
Tell us more. Tell us more about you, Marav. People, the feedback I get is we want more Marav.
Really?
Yeah.
So let's just dump this guy.
let's just dump him.
Yeah.
It's
What
the Marav and Chantal show. Hey,
Seriously.
so maybe can you show the wedding over there for a sec? So, did you know? Random fun fact: when you're a royal, you can't wear nail polish.
Wow.
It's a thing.
That would be the end for me.
That would be it. Like I can
Oh,
handle.
that's it.
And I couldn't handle shutting down my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, because obviously I love that. But
Everybody follow Chantal on Instagram.
yeah, Instagram is Chantal Desjardins, and Twitter is Chantal on Air. Because I would have done Chantal Desjardins, except it's one letter too long, so I would only get Chantal Desjardins. Then look what's happening with Harry right now.
Oh,
He's
what
putting
is
on
he
his
doing?
his floopsies.
Is he outside? No, we're waiting. Hey, Unfortunately, I bet you he went to the women's washroom. Because it's too long of a walk.
Imagine walking in. Oh my god, here he comes.
Ta-da! What do you think?
What is happening
You see?
here? I want a picture.
This
Oh
right here,
my god.
this is sexiness at its best.
Something. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Don't forget your blindfold.
Oh yeah, hold on.
It's very
So
50
funny.
Shades.
See, this is how me and Marav do it.
Oh,
50 Shades. This is how we do it.
Wow.
See
Isn't
that?
that like a thing? Isn't that like what's it called?
Cosplay.
Furries?
Yeah.
It's called furries. I think it's like a group of people that like
See
to
that
like.
right there. Boom. Yeah.
yeah, that's my man.
Why would you have that?
That's my man.
I know
yeah.
you were a lucky duck,
Question,
Marav.
question
You were a
is,
lucky duck.
why would you not have this?
I don't know. Like,
Chantal.
what should I not even ask?
No.
Like, that's
no,
like-
honey. The brain damage is way too advanced at this
like-
point.
He kind of looks like a lamb, like a woolly
I don't know what he
woolly
looks
mammoth.
like. I don't know. I've given up.
Yeah. And you just celebrated your 12th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, 16 years with this crazy guy.
16 years. It looks like that Snuggie is from 16 years ago.
It is so not. This is a
No,
Ted
it's
onesie.
actually pretty new.
I wonder what David Simon thinks of it. Hey, David Simon, what do you think? See, look, I got a thumbs up from David Simon.
Yeah, he's afraid.
So when we come back, we're obviously gonna.
Oh my God, it is so hot.
It's so hot.
Okay. I think you could take it off. We made
Wow.
a point.
Just,
So do
ladies,
Have we?
think about how lucky Marav is, because this right here,
That's.
this is how I sleep.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah.
You
In
don't
the winter
sleep.
time?
No, you
Oh
don't.
yeah, man.
This is how we do it. Both hands
You wouldn't
are in
sleep
the
in this?
air. No. No, I would be so hot. I get so hot when I'm sleeping.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thrash about.
All right.
Okay.
It's coming off.
Do you have anything under there?
Already? Oh my god, that's a funny.
Do you have
that's a
anything
funny,
under there? Please tell me you do.
Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da.
What is happening there? Making a little video there, Terry. So,
God, it is
yeah,
so hot.
it's going on the Instagram.
On the Google.
The Google.
Wow.
Woo-wee! It's because it's 50 Shades of Mortgages. Sexy.
I can't take it off.
I'm filming you, you're filming me.
Oh my lord.
Oh, God.
We
Is
magically.
this the fake? The
It's
fake
the
one or is the real
It's
one?
the fake one. Okay, so obviously we already touched on the restricted variable mortgage.
We'll talk about the restricted variables
Yeah?
because I'll go into it a little bit more.
Yeah, let's go into it a little bit more.
What did Luch say? Did he see me? Was he like
I don't think he saw us.
dumbfounded?
Can you put up the just
Put
a
it
tad?
up. Put it down.
Just a tad.
Put it up. Put it down.
This
Just a
much.
tad. That's it. That's perfect.
This much. Canadian teen attends wedding. How cool is that? How did she get invited?
I was invited also.
Yeah.
No, you weren't.
I was so invited.
Okay, too.
Thunder Buddies for life.
That's so funny.
That's
and
what
creepy.
we are. We're Thunder Buddies
For life?
for life.
Life is a long time. Like,
Yeah.
can we be Thunder Buddies for like a couple weeks?
Thunder Buddies for life.
What'd you think of her dress?
Oh.
It was simple. It was good.
Yeah.
I like simple. My second wedding, I had a dress like that. Simple.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, everybody. You're real close to me.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is way too close. Hi.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Here I was thinking he was about to film me, but he wasn't. He was just handing it to me. Oh yeah, that's way too close. She's right. She's right.
Ah.
Okay, we're good, man.
Okay, so for all you people out there on Instagram land and on YouTube land and on Facebook land,
Yeah.
don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, newsonthego.ca. Yeah. You can.
That's it? That's all you had to say about that? Yeah.
We will be having a contest soon. I'm not sure what the contest is going to be, but it's going to be for our subscribers of our YouTube channel.
That's cool.
And maybe I'll be giving out a car. Who knows?
I feel like
Or
you're
a
probably
house.
not
Like
giving out
a
a
toy
car.
car, maybe.
A
Come
toy
on.
car and a toy house.
Maybe, possibly. You get a car. You get a house. Come on. We
Like
could be
Oprah.
Yeah.
Everybody reach under the chair. There's a car.
Yeah.
It's a toy car.
It's a toy car. That'd be pretty funny. What's Oprah doing now?